Welcome to Bad Gear, the show about the world's most hated audio tools. Today we are going to talk about the Roland SP-808ex eMix Studio. This groove sampler from the year 2000 is the upgraded version of the original SP-808 Roland brought to the market in 1998. It is no secret that some of the smaller SPs have acquired a cult following, so it might come as a surprise that the flagship instrument isn't up there in the pantheon of legendary beat-making machines. So, what went wrong? Maybe it was the total lack of RAM, the soon-to-be obsolete data storage medium with the noise spectrum of a personal pleasure device, or the polyphony of a ukulele? Let's take a closer look. At the first glance, the Roland SP-808ex is ticking all the boxes, like a 20-year-old zip drive. A phrase sampler in the tradition of the SP-303, a versatile FX processor with filters optimized for electronic music. Everything else you would expect from a full-fledged recording studio 19-inch unit, and cutting-edge 90s algorithms like a mic simulator I don't really believe in, a voice transformer, and a vocoder. The SP product line is known for their lo-fi FX, and we will have a closer listen a little later. This FX processor is home to a monophonic synthesizer too, and it's not so bad. There's a step sequencer inspired by the System 182 module of the 70s that can be used for modulating the FX and synth patches. Speaking of modulation, FX and synth parameters are easily assignable to 3 knobs and the inevitable D-beam, which has a sample trigger and sample pitch mode as well. All this groove sampler goodness can be recorded and, to a certain degree, sequenced to a hard disk recorder with 4 stereo tracks. The audio files are stored on the aforementioned zip drive, which is probably the most 90s storage medium there is. Roland went with a proprietary file format no other device is able to process, and decided to stream all audio data directly from and to disk. As a result, the SP-808 has no RAM to speak of, and the machine relies heavily on the performance of the zip drive. Not so great if you want to play more than 4 stereo files at the same time. Yes, that's right, 4 stereo voices of polyphony. The whole goddamn machine. Even if you don't push the SP-808 too hard, the "drive is busy" message will haunt you like a ghost. However, the instrument makes it easy to go full-on George Martin and bounce tracks. Sampling is intuitive and barely an inconvenience. Press sampling, choose a pad, there's a self-explanatory menu that guides you through the sampling process, press sampling once again. Done. Managing the samples works like a charm, and the clipboard functionality is well thought out. I like the sound of very pitch, time stretch,
pitch transposition,
and you can beat match and loop stuff. Right out of the box, the SP-808 comes with 1 microphone input, 2 line in and outputs, and a headphone socket. There is an expansion card with even more connectivity, and the well-built machine has quite some heft to it. The original SP-808 and the EX version are basically the same device, with the OS, 250 MB zip drive and design being the only differences. You can upgrade both the OS and drive yourself, and even turn it into a Roland A6 video canvas. Don't forget to check out MIDI Maniac's great videos and tutorials about the SP-808. The instrument is readily available on the used market and comparably affordable. The SP-808ex seems to be a powerful workstation with many features we would like to see on other groove boxes too. Did Roland cut the wrong corners? You have already heard the SP-808ex in today's intro tune. The synth is nice and the FX section works great on the drum bus. Can it deliver in a live performance? Cool, but I was missing my fourth voice of polyphony. Ah, there it is. I forgot to erase the unprocessed drum track. These limitations aside, the effects work nicely on the drums and I like the rubbery and digital timbre of the synth. That being said, it is not always easy to make all these components work together, and operation is sluggish at times. The SP-808 has some of the lo-fi FX its legendary siblings are known for, but I'm missing the compression parameter of the original vinyl effect. Let's add some outboard gear and see how far we can get in this lo-fi jam. Maybe the vinyl FX is not spot on, but it acts like a time machine for samples. Nice. I'm not a big fan of D-beams in general, but adding a little movement to the hi-hats works well in this application. The SP-808 is arguably one of the most late 90s pieces of gear you can find. Let's record some sample CD loops into the machine, crank up the lo-fi FX and ignore the plastic sounding nature of the synth in this basement home studio. Y2K will kill us all. Puff puff pass broken beat ballad. Verdict. The SP-808ex has everything people are still craving for in a creative sampler, at least on paper. In practice, I'm missing the responsiveness of its famous competitors and a cohesive workflow that ties all the parts together. What is more, the limited polyphony disqualifies it as the centerpiece of a modern music-making environment. You know what really grinds my gears? The constant whining noise and unsettling clicks of the zip drive. All this doesn't mean that the SP-808ex is obsolete. The synth and FX processor can be used without inserting a disc. You could butcher an MPC 2000XL and put its card reader into the SP-808, or you can just take it like it is and channel your inner 90s groovebox zen. Thanks for watching and see you next time! Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed the episode. Feel free to like, subscribe, become a patron and leave a comment what other kind of gear you would like to see and hear on the show.